Just want to get this video out today because I've been in the past few days. It's been a few days, but I made a lot of content this month. Obviously, um, less than 2 months of the PS4 support ends, so I'm going to start setting for Series S now because PS4 support is less than 2 months away until it ends on April 8th. But I still have to get the external hard drive for that console in particular because most of my backlog is empty. I still need the space to install the other games I was trying to play that were over 100 gigs. I need the storage space to install the games that were over 100 gigs that I had counting Cold War. But I still had to get that external hard drive. That'll be next month when I get that. That'll be off of 10 when I get that. Later February. But either way, that would PlayStation Plus Essential come off as well. Got to start setting up for Series S starting in February because the PS4 supports less than 2 months wait until it ends. Cause my backlog is empty. And yeah, Sony, based on what I saw, I checked the prices. There's a lot of games on sale, but I'm only getting 2 games this month is Sushi Plus and Sushi Plus. Yeah, Donut Plus and Sushi Plus. But that's all I'm getting for this month. As far as next month, as far as getting games on sale for next month, that's very unlikely. Now, am I going to get that external hard drive on the 28th? Yes. I'm going to keep the PlayStation Plus Essential, yes, because they gave me 4 games on the 3rd. And I saw the games on PlayStation Access as of a couple of days ago. But less than 2 months went into the PS4 support, and that console still retro console either way, and it's a multiplayer console either way. So I had to start signing up for Series S. Now I do get that external hard drive for Series S, yes. But I also got to get the one for Sony first, opportunity first. I was like, I do need a storage with no. I'm trying to play Black Ops Cold War and try to end the Call of Duty grind because this has been one help run on the PS4 pretty much. So I do need to get that external hard drive for the PS4 pretty much. Gonna need at least another 500 gigs of 1 terabyte to start because Black Ops Cold War is over 180 gigs. So no, my other gigs are over 70 plus gigs or close to it pretty much. Now am I gonna buy those Sonic games? Yes, I know my cousin Bree's gonna play them right away. As far as that, PS4 support ends in 2 months, less than 2 months from now, and we had to start setting up for Series S. Like I told you in my videos, sure you saw the video for that too several days ago. And last week, pun intended. That I said I had to get the external hard drive off of 10, but I'm going to need more storage space to start my games pretty much. The Cold War is over 180 gigs, so either way, Sony has nothing. Cause I looked at the PlayStation Store just now. Sony still has nothing. Nothing that caught my interest. Now, last year was at the prime of my career because all those platinums I earned on my PSNs. But either way, like I said, Sony has nothing. As I told you around it before. So I don't want to ask why am I not getting the PS4. One, it has no software. It has no true software. Other than menu updates, but other than that, you really don't count that as software. Because where's the true software? I told you where's the first part is at? Where's the studios they used to own back to? They don't even own Square Enix now. They don't even own Konami now. They don't even own Marvel now. As of this month, because they brought out Marvel like over 3.5 weeks ago, and they brought out Warner Bros. As of December of last year. So, gotta start setting up for Series S. Gotta get a strong hard drive for that console too. I'm gonna need that storage to start my backwards compatible game. Normally they did a backwards compatible sale, the backwards compatible game sale every month at least. And all other games I also get for 2K. And I still had to get both Injustice games. Still had to get the Batman Arkham trilogy on Series S. Still had to get both Injustice games, Friday Champion, Black Ops 6. My class is still on Black Ops 6, so I did too. I went to Mario Prestige Master on Black Ops 6, so that's good. I just got to get to over 1,000. As far as my World War II progress, I was playing most of the day yesterday. Most halfway to Prestige, man. I'm about to be Prestige 5 now. No, my way to Prestige 1 on Fred Kennedy, and I played on Fred Kennedy as far as World War II in a while. I was about to be Prestige 1 for a kingdom, but either way. So kind of the PS4 support continues until it's over pretty much. It ends on April 8th, so my console not considered a retro box, it's a multiplayer box now. And, they're giving me 4 games for PlayStation Plus Central on February 3rd, obviously. Sony still has nothing. But in easy platinum games now, I just got to keep up with those now going forward. But I still got to get my external hard drive determined on the 28th, and I don't have my PlayStation Plus quarterly come off, pretty much. Setting up a series because Sony still has nothing, as I told him on Joe before, and I told him in those videos last week, in the week before, Sony still has nothing. Because lack of software, and I wouldn't say lack of hardware, I did say in my videos lack of hardware, but lack of software, still don't have no first parties, they don't own Marvel, they don't own Warner Brothers, they don't own Konami, they don't even own Square Enix. And it's multi-platform if it is, but Sony don't own that no more now. They don't own Konami, they don't own Marvel, they don't even own Warner Brothers. The Warner Brothers, as I told them on, the Warner Brothers got bought out by Microsoft as of December of last year, and now they're gonna make that money back like it's nothing. They own the fall Mac games as far as both Injustice 1 and 2, 3 and 4, Mortal Kombat XL and 11. I had to buy that game too on Series XL, pretty much. And Mortal Kombat XL, both Injustice games, Batman Arkham Trilogy, and Black Ops 6 and Final Champion, all 4 Super D Astronauts, Full Blast, Thunder. I think it's called Thunderstruck for that Rocket League games. I think it's called Thunderstruck, or whatever it's called. And Power Revenge, and then gotta get external hard drive for that series. I'm gonna need all the space I can install those backwards compatible games. Most of the backwards compatible games are big. Counting one of them, I also had to buy EA Sports Road to the Masters, and said it was PGA Tour 2K20. The cover down on I was the Hall of Fame edition. It's kind of under the PS4 support continues. It's about to end on April 8th. We're less than 2 months, and less than 200 weeks away. A little bit over 100 weeks away until PlayStation 4 support ends. 2 months and over 100 plus weeks away. Either way, Sony still has nothing. As I told you on the Joe before, what's the point of getting the PS5 if they don't got no software and they don't got no well, I can't say the hardware. They're still selling that at least, but they don't got no software. They don't own most of the studios no more. As I told them all again, and I told Joe again, if Joe didn't know shit. I know what I know. And the game industry is changing because it's an industry problem on Sony's end because of lack of revenue and lack of games. As far as their first part, they don't have nothing. And Microsoft and Nintendo dominated the Game of the Year awards last year. And Microsoft and Nintendo's going to dominate this year's Game of the Year awards too, is why I guarantee it. Because they got multiple Game of the Year contenders already, and the games haven't came out yet. And they said Resident Evil 9 is in consideration for Game of the Year once it comes out next month. And these Capcom has done it again. They most like for far as best action and best horror game. That's why it's going to go to Resident Evil 9 for the Game of the Year. Game of the Year was on December. Book it now. Book that Resident Evil 9. Capcom's going to do it again. No offense to Bandai Namco as far as them. That wasn't that many Game of the Year awards, but I think Capcom's gotten it done again. And then Fable also acknowledged for Game of the Year for Best RPG. Based off the trailer and the gameplay that I saw there, it looked pretty dope from an ending standpoint. I saw the ending, what the ending looked like. For the trailer wasn't. It was like, wow, this game's gonna be Game of the Year for sure for Best RPG. But either way, and then Forza is gonna be part of the contest for Game of the Year for Best Racing Game. Now, as far as Game of the Year period, that's up for grabs on Microsoft for this year's Game of the Year ones in December, but. Got to start setting up for Series S now. I had to get my external hard drive for Sony. As of next month, my PlayStation Plus quarter come off, obviously next month. I start setting up Series S because we're less than 2 months and over 100 plus weeks away until the PS4 support ends. So I had to get external hard drive for Sony off the terminal, pretty much. That'll be on the 28th when I get that. I had to get my blood work done because my blood work is due on the 24th because I need to go to my appointment side to get that blood work done. But, yeah, guys, it's been one hell of a journey, so And I get Series S. That's my last console for sure. It's a first party box now because it has everything that Sony doesn't have no more. Sony, I told them on Joe, Sony still has nothing. And like I said before, Sony is definitely cooked now because they just canceled 6 of their Ubisoft games, and they just delayed Far Cry 7 Sons of Truth until 2027, and they delayed Far Cry 8 until 2028. So, like I said, Sony is cooked, bro. As I told people before, the Joe Don didn't know shit, and I do. So if you want to talk about me, you need to talk about it. Because Sony still has nothing. You playing game? Well, the game you got last night, The Last was 2.5 remastered. You know how old that game is? And if you didn't know, I'll tell you, but it's gonna have you upset so bad. That game's over 4 years old, bro. It's like The Last was 2.5, the OG one, 2.5. The OG one, 2.5 on the cross-gen version. That's also 5 years old. And Train Sim World 5 is over a year and a half old. He just got my cousin just got yesterday. Train Sim World 5 is a year and a half old. Then Train Sim World 3, that's almost 3 years old now. I thought my cousin said I don't play older games though. I said, well, The Last was 2.5 remastered. That's a 4-year-old game. The Last was OG version of 2.5. It's also 5 years old. So yeah, that is an old game. Most of the games in the 2020s, but still old. The only reason why he got PlayStation Plus Extra because the lack of exclusivity. That's the only why he got it. Otherwise, he's hanging on to time exclusivity. That's basically what he's hanging on to. And I'm self-aware what's going on, Joe. I'm self-aware what's going on. What you're doing right now. You got nothing without me. I own all the goddamn licenses. So don't take credit for something you don't take credit for. Because I bought all of them games, you didn't play them, and didn't have the storage space to install them. I will have the storage space to install them once I get that storage hard drive or upgrade next month, and I can just use my codec one for my Series S. Pretty much, and I could use, and I probably want to get another hard drive because some of the new games I want to play for 2K, counting the golf world, some of the games are over 100 gigs. Most of them, well, not all of them, but Borderlands is over like 45 or 50 gigs. But the other ones over 100 gigs, so I'm probably going to need another hard drive on the Series S, either way to be on the safe side. It's going to cost me $80 when I get that. Later on, once we move, obviously, but that's it for that. It's on either way. But, like I said, Sony has nothing. You still have nothing because I own all the licenses. So you can't take credit for something that you don't take credit for because basically you mistaken my kindness for weakness. Normally you don't hear me say that, but I remember Mom told me back most of last year in 2024, so I was just, someone's going to take full advantage of your kindness and you're not going to like it. That's basically my cousin. He mistaken my kindness for weakness. Especially I had all those games and all the licenses for all those games via the backlog pretty much. So, less than 2 months away until PS4 support ends, which ends on April 8th. So, my console's a multiplayer box either way. Now, the games I'm getting this month is Sushi Plus and Donut Plus, but after that, probably no games next month. Probably for the rest of the year for Sony going forward. I'm only saying that because the PS4 support ends on April, so I'm going to start saying up for Surge that's starting near the end of February. That's still the PlayStation Plus come off. Quarterly come off. I had to still get that external hard drive for Sony, so I still need that space to install most of my games. Just trying to figure out how many terabytes I'm going to need. Probably going to need at least 2. So when I get it off of Temu, if I can find a way around that price on Temu for the external hard drive on Temu, probably to get it right then and there. Once they restock them, because usually when they go on study, they have to restock them either way. So yeah, Sony has nothing. I'm only getting 2 games this month, but that's it. Sony still has nothing. I know them. I was going to ask. Then I was going to ask why am I flip flopping from one console to another because I told them because Sony still has nothing, bro. No software other than them updates, but they really have no true software. And they're better than selling the hardware because the hardware is the lowest it's been since 1995. As far as the hardware's being sold, pretty much. That sort of did a graph on that too. That Sony hasn't done well in terms of the sales, console sales this year, and they've done well last year as well. They're selling all of these units, but nobody's buying them because probably preferred Microsoft over Sony because Sony doesn't have no studios, proper studios. The Sony you knew is dead. The disc PS5 is dead now, kind of swimming. OG disc and Slim disc is dead. The disc was one. The discless ones won the generation, like I said. So instead, I told him all day, Joseph, well, John didn't know shit again. But either way, because I told, been telling him all what's going on. And again, the reason I've been talking to him about it, Joe, my best friend about it, Joe. So he already knows what's going on here. You don't want to admit it because the reality just set in. Controversial or not, the Sony still has nothing. And you're playing Train Sim 05 is a year old game, so I'll give you a pass for that one. But yes, it was 2.5 remastered. It's a 4.5-year-old game. And the OG one from 2.5 is also a 5-year-old game. And the last was 1.5 and 1.5 remaster. Also 5-year-old games. So you might say you just wasted your money on a game that you're not going to take seriously for Square Enix. Because Square Enix is now on Sony's and no more. And it's multi-platform now because Sony all them goddamn money hats. And Sony has not done well this month because all the news they have it on Sony's end. Lack of revenue, lack of games. As far as Ubisoft, they just delayed for all but Far Cry. They didn't cancel those ones. They just delayed them for now. And then Rayman Lord's 30th anniversary, that's coming out later on next month, from what I know, from what I heard. Based on when I saw the bill for that yesterday. Sony still has nothing. I'd rather just get serious as get the external hard drives to be done with it, or the storage expansion card and use my spare external my server doesn't be done with it, because Sony still has nothing. And I start buying the easy 1,000 gamer score games, and counting all 4 Super Nationals, 4 boy, that's 5 easy 1,000 gamer score games, and Burn Revenge and Thunderstruck, so actually that's 6 1,000 gamer score, and Burn Revenge, that's longer racing game, but older racing game, they got older racing game. And buy Financial Champion, do Game Pass Premium, but I don't like to buy Golf with Your Friends and Vampire Chaos and Golf with Your Friends and Vampire Survivor. Those are free to my screen on Game Pass Premium. And I had to buy Road to the Masters, for his PGA Tour 2K21, the one I'm on the cover on for the Hall of Fame edition for golf. Gotta buy both Injustice games, the Automatic Arkham Trilogy, Batman Arkham Trilogy, and Mortal Kombat XL. Then probably most of my storage is going to be taken up either way. Then I had to buy Borderlands Enhanced Collection Remastered. And Borderlands 3, I don't have to pay for that Game Pass Premium. I think I did have to buy that outright. I could be wrong. Quote me on that. I could be wrong. But I think that's part of the game, but I don't have to pay for that. The Borderlands 4, now Borderlands 4, I did have to buy that outright. Either way, depending on how big that game is from the theater right standpoint. But either way, the Sony still has nothing. I told them all the jokes before. Sony still has nothing. The industry has changed. At least I consider my cousin. I've been talking to my best friend Dan Monte on this. You don't want to talk about because you know I have my receipts, and even show up on my console too. Now they updated the software on PS4 for the receipts. I have my receipts. 2, I have more reliable sources. And 2, I have every reason to expose my cousin Joe what's going on in the industry because we know what's going on. But you want to hold on to that Thomas exclusivity bullshit. That's basically what he's talking about, time exclusivity. That's basically what it is. It's timed exclusivity because Sony still has nothing. And hopefully, Grand Theft Auto 6 not the way, which, like I said in that video last week, that Grand Theft Auto 6 could come to Microsoft, and that's a day one game if it is. And you want the storage space to start that game, because that game's going to be 1 terabyte. Either way, most of the space will be taken up for that game. Either way, Sony has nothing. As I told them on the end, Joe, and Joe, as of now in this video, you need to give Sony the smoke, because it's well-deserved smoke. You can't even bash me and John here for the games, because we know what's going on. I've been mainly sending John those videos too about what's going on in the industry. Sony has nothing. So when I get Series S, we'll start setting up for Series S now to put since 4 support ends in less than 2 months from now. Honestly, this is a different time on right now because Sony still has nothing. It's like me and John won this generation because they have Microsoft, like me in third grade said, Microsoft has all the content. Sony has nothing. Literally nothing. And I've been brutally honest with them all the Joseph on it. Sony has nothing. The disc console, the disc for the PS5 counting the OG and the Slim disc one is dead. As I told Sony too as well. I know she got the disc one, but either way, Sony still has nothing. Like I said before, y'all need to give Sony the smoke, and it's well deserved. I know I went on that rant on that past few days last week. So y'all need to give Sony the smoke. Of course, I'm calmed down now. Obviously, because it's just good enough, but y'all need to give Sony the smoke because Sony still has nothing. I don't think I was saying fanboy, no time, no, wasn't against standing. No, just saying fanboy, no time, wasn't against standing. I say, well, you need to get Sony the smoke because now that Deck and the Shield just got fired as of almost 3 weeks ago. You barely have any CEOs and CFOs now because once them people are gone or retired pretty much, because everyone else has to get fired by then. Sony still has nothing. And it's a full rebuild on Sony's end because that PS6 is like a PS3 and PS4 and PS5 mixed into one. That's basically what that PS6 is. It's a PS3, PS4, PS5 into one. Because they're going to keep the same goddamn boot up sound. This already know they're going to copy the DualSense, copy and paste it, and I'm almost sure they're going to do that. They're not going to find no innovators for the controller for that DualSense either. Especially for fighting games in particular either. No, it's going to be able to afford that PS6, and I think it won't be no PS6 hashtag no, like me and David said no PlayStation 6 and no handheld because they don't have no RAM, 2, they don't have no software, 3, they don't have no games. True ones, Boston Studios they used to own. They don't own Marvel, they don't own Warner Bros., they don't own Konami, they don't own Square Enix. And they're about to lose Sega, being careful, especially since Sony's had Sega for this long. Either way, Sony has nothing, bro. As I told them, I said, don't you don't play, and I said in my head too, when he got PlayStation Plus extra last night for the month for you, and he got those 3. I said, I thought you don't play old games, Joe. I said in my head, I didn't say that a lot of times. I said, I thought you don't play old games, Joe, because Train Sim Roll 5 is a 1.5-year old game. Last is 2.5 a month. That is a 5-year-old game. And the last was 2.5. The OG one, that also a 5-year-old game. The last is 1 and 1.5, also 5-decade long or half a decade old game, almost 6 years old games. So don't you say you don't play old games, Joe? I didn't say that to him. I allowed to say it in my head. So yeah, he's holding on to time school setting. And I think Michael John noticed it too last night too when we was talking about it because we know what's going on. I know what's going on. My Uncle John didn't say it out loud, and I didn't say it. We know what's going on. He's holding on to time school setting. Because Sony still has nothing. And Joe has nothing without me. I own all the goddamn licenses. Pretty much. Because if it wasn't even my Uncle John, and I would have told you, if it wasn't for Kyle helping me get those games, Joe, you had nothing without him. Because I told Joe, you play the same shit. That's not good. That's one-dimensional. And Cat don't know what that title is. And Cat don't also read it 4 and 6. One-dimensional title. Same shit. You don't play no different games. You don't want to involve your studios. You'll never change then. Because you want to call the games garbage. And you can't call the games garbage if you haven't played them. How you going to hype up Resident Evil 9? I know that play Resident Evil 9 is my Uncle John and Santa. Makes sense on that, Joseph, on this as well. Makes sense on that. You can't bash a game or hype up a game the way I hype up because I know what's going on. Especially for that game in particular. I saw all the trailers. John saw all the trailers. I saw him first though. I just beat him to the point. He didn't see the trailers until later. I saw him several days ago. I think it was over a week and a half when they showed the trailer. But either way, Sony still has nothing, bro. But you don't want to admit it. I know you want to bash me, but you don't know you ain't gonna bash my generation. You better not bash my generation. No, I'm 2 of them. I came from that generation. You better not. You don't know what's gonna happen to them. Cook that shit. And I don't get that. You don't like what I had to say the truth, and it hurts. But Sony still has nothing. No first parties. All money had the third parties, and non-money had the second parties. Non-money had the second counting sport games included. And, MLB, the MLB games are multi-platform now. We found out Aaron Judge is on MLB The Show 2026 for the first time since MLB The Show 2018. But either way, Sony still has nothing. And then CM Punk's on this year's wrestling game that comes out in March, but he said he's wrestling until he's 50. But either way, Sony still has nothing. Sony is cut. After this news is run, then they had the jailbreak news over 4 weeks ago, to the point the console's plateau and the console sales on PS5 for the disc and discs and some disc and discs in the PS5 Pro has not sold well. And this is the first time Sony's consoles have not sold well since my time frame during the Millennium and Silent generation. So almost half my lifetime, Sony's console was stagnated, and this is the first time it's stagnated since 1995. Like I said again, y'all need to get Sony to smoke. Stop defending them because they don't care about you. They care about the money. That's basically what they care about. As much as I told Diamante about this, at least he knows I'm going on about this because I've been telling him all year long, most surprised in 2021, 2020, but even 2020, Sony still has nothing. As of now, they really have nothing. So I told them they don't give a damn about. They give a damn about the money. That's basically what they give a damn about. Much you call yourself Diamante, call themselves a business, and you're not my Uncle John here. Yeah, you got your degree in that field, but my uncle has all three of his in that field. And Diamante couldn't take business seriously because he don't know what's going on in the game industry. Having the main one that's been explained to him, much you don't want to believe, but you're going to have to believe it now because Sony still has nothing. NHL broke the console now, so we'll see if John Reese gets that place. We'll see. I highly doubt it though. But because now it's officially jailbroken, the console's plateau out here because Cousin Joe's holding on the time exclusivity. That's basically what he's holding. I already know what he's doing. Much you don't want to. I already know what you're doing, boy. But you say you don't. I don't know shit do about South. Dude from South Park. Since you and the dude with the blue hat on the same exact Zodiac, which is funny about that. You and the dude in the blue hat on the same exact robot Jupiter. I know what you're doing, dude. South Park. Sony still has nothing. And you're holding on to time exclusivity because Sony don't have the money hat. So they can't money hat on. They don't have no money right now. They're like the Timber beyond the Apple and the Timber gaming now. They're broke. Sony has all the content. I mean, Microsoft has all the content, and they have all the money. They buy more studios if they want to, and could buy Sega if they want to. And that's just being me on that. Either way, so they had something, and I'm being nice about this about the games. I need to get Sony, so I start kissing the ass. And I told Jimmy Champagne and what I was doing, start defending them. Because Sony is not loyal to y'all, as far as their employees and CEOs. Their CFOs are terrible when it comes to the and the management's been terrible all of this year, most of this month, most of last year in 2020. The management's been terrible. That's just ridiculous. They should got fired now. Next year, most one anniversary when he got fired. But either way, Sony has nothing. And I get serious. Actually, my cousin's about to get a huge rank. I got serious. So part of Team Great and Team Bully, and I still, because my PS4 is a multiplayer box now, and a third-party box now. Sony still has nothing other than easy platinum games, money head third parties, and typical games. Well, it's the second kind of Sony games, and then sport game. That's all they got left. They're barely even hanging on to that right now. Sony is the terminal game. They're broke as a joke, bub. Gotta start setting up for Series S. So when I get that store expansion card for that Series S and that external hard drive, or the one I was going to use as a spare that I'm using currently for my PS4. I had still to upgrade the one for Sony. I still had to upgrade the space to install them Sony games. So when I buy those on sale, or those decide to go back to the sale ends on February 5th. I had store this so my cousin Bree can put all them Sony games and platinum all out. But Mania doesn't have a platinum. This has all trophies. But either way, we sure have all the platinums and other Sonics when it covers all of it. But either way, Sony has nothing. Need to get Sony to smoke. You took for magic, and I told you took for kindness as weakness. Knowing I don't say that, I said that twice in this video. But no, I don't say it, but it's basically what you did. And to be honest, 2020 ruined a lot of things for us in the gaming industry. And as of now, with Sony, they're still doing a lot of shit, and they can't get themselves out of this mess. Sony is an absolute dumpster fire, to the point that they can't get themselves out of this mess, and they're having issues to even make that PS6 and that handheld. Because they don't get that out, they don't get that RAM by 2031, and they don't get that RAM for that handheld by 20. Hashtag might be there's no PlayStation 6. We're gonna run up on these chumps. Keep the blue on like this card on console this whole journey because Sony still has nothing. Literally nothing. And they don't have no hardware, no ROM, no RAM. That's what I meant to say. That's ROM. No RAM, no software, barely even any hardware. Gaming is stagnated for the first time since 1995 on Sony's end because lack of revenue. back employees, barely any COs and CFOs left. Once the other ones retire, now they're going to show got fired as of over 2.5 weeks ago. Like I said, Sony still has nothing, bro. And I told Joe the amount. At least I've been talking to them all day, so he knows, he understands what I'm saying. Again, Sony has nothing. At least the industry has changed, and he knows the amount. He knows he won't admit it though, but the amount he knows is at least Sony still has nothing. As I told the amount before. And Joe, before you only hang on to that PlayStation Plus extra monthly because you know it's time exclusivity on Sony's end as well. That's basically what you hold on to time exclusivity. And really want to put some salt into the wound, because I found out some more news yesterday. I was watching it yesterday. Sony's about to shut down PlayStation Plus Premium now. Now here's the funny thing about this too, since I found out that news yesterday. Because the PS3 cloud stream is broken, but it's broken in a bad way because a lot of games have been acting up for some bugs. This is based on one of my sources, Anytime, Anywhere Gaming source. That's one of my sources, several sources I follow on for my YouTube channels. But either way, they said they might shut down PlayStation Plus Premium, so it's going to be down to PlayStation Plus Extra and Essential now. And it's about to, they might shut down Extra. They shortened every copy of Microsoft on that in the first damn place, but that because Microsoft was the best buyer in gaming. As far as Game Pass Ultimate and Core and Premium, which is the one I'm getting out of Game Pass Premium, because I know Game Pass Ultimate price is going to go up eventually. Either way, Sony's PlayStation Plus Premium is about to shut down soon. Soon enough, don't know when, but I know it's going to come around this year. Now they don't own their Vizio TVs with TCL now, because I think they said, what King said in this bill when I sent John that video last week, they said they might not own TCL TVs, so they might not have Vizio TVs no more after this year, so it's going to be down. So if I wanted to get me a TV, when we move, obviously, it would have to be a different TV. Can't be Vizio no more because Sony ain't going to own Vizio now because they screwed City with TCL as of 2 weeks, a little bit over a week and a half ago, almost 2 weeks ago. Either way, Sony still has nothing, bro. And I told them, give Sony the smoke, please, thank you. Stop the film because they don't give them, they give them about the money. That's basically what they're doing. Like I said before, and I say again, give Sony the smoke. You can't even give Microsoft the smoke. As much as you want to give them some smoke, because they have all the content. And they got all these Game of the Year award candidates going into this December upcoming once that time comes. And they got another the Barrel Direct on Microsoft. They got another Barrel Direct on Microsoft that's coming up soon. Don't know when, but it's going to probably be somewhere around the summertime, probably around the spring when that the Barrel Direct comes up. Either way, and then they got Microsoft has their summer showcase as well. On Microsoft, Sony's doing all these state of plays. Yeah, they're doing another state of play next month. I found that out last night. They're doing another goddamn state, but that state of play is going to be either mid or dog shit at best. Because the most anticipated game for them onto is Noah 3 and 4. And they're going to probably remaster those ones, 3 and 4. They're going to remaster those ones. Otherwise, and then I said to him, too, only they got 11 small one, then most likely that's it. They don't got no more games going forward. They're only releasing one single AAA player story-driven game a year, and that's not good enough on Sony's end. I told them, Joseph, stop defending them. As I told Joe, stop defending them, because basically you mistake my kindness for weakness. You mistake my intelligence for kindness, pretty much. You think I don't know shit, but I do. Sony has nothing. And you only hold to that PlayStation Plus Extra because I've been keeping up. I'm still paying on PlayStation Plus Essential, and I've been paying on it every month. There was only one month I did not pay for it. Obviously, it was expired, but every month I've been paying for it. We applied it back in it was December or November. But either way, like I said, Sony has nothing. So I get Game Pass Premium, and the games I was going to get, including the easy 1,000 games, 1,000 gamer score games, all Force of Nature, 4 Blast, Thunderstrucks at seats, 1,000 easy gamer score games, Road to Masters, golf game, Titleist PGA Tour, 2K25, the one that I want to cover for the Hall of Fame game, the Arkham Trilogy, Borderlands, Clash Remaster, and Titleist One Shot Adventure. Once I get that on sale, both of those games, and the Great Legends, the Ultimate Collector's that includes all the storyline DLCs and everything else. Once I get all those games and everything else, Sony stats done, I had servers I can have both consoles, and I had 3 external hard drives total. Well, actually 4 if you count me upgrading the one for Sony once I upgrade that on the 28th, but either way, I had to get my butt work done, on the 24th. That's coming up soon, less than a few weeks from now. Gonna call Dark, they on the 15th and the 21st for that day, but either way, Sony still has nothing, bro. As I said to them all, Joe, y'all need to give Sony the smoke, please, thanks, stop defending them, And I told you we need to talk. We need to talk. We need to talk. Cause I know you're going to bash me and John Microsoft, and I know John ain't gonna play that bashing shit in Microsoft. And I ain't gonna play that. I'm gonna give you a lot of smoke and a lot of cat for it. Every time you try to bash Microsoft on that. Okay, guys, I end the video right there. That was a long rant, obviously. Even being calm and raining, obviously, and mellowed down, obviously. So notify me on IG. That's that'll be watching too. Hutch Ganami and Cobbs on my merge meta and Instagram follows my 3 Instagrams and Hutch Ganami. Cobbs and that'll be watching too. Notify me on PSN, Explorer 2, Furry Kingdom, Musca Ishi 4, Chumley Ishi, Super Intelligence, but those are all from my PSNs. Notify me on Series S, Alpha 4859, Retro 54 on both my Microsoft, and I have multiple outlooks for either way. Notify me on Twitch, Sarah Lundlund. Now I'm officially back to being a Twitch affiliate now, which is good news. So, Furry King and Gamer, I'd say those are all 3 of my Twitch accounts. Notify me on TikTok, that's TikTok Hutch 1, and on TikTok that's Woman Queen 3. Notify me on Facebook, that's my whole main name spelled. Right now, obviously, my whole main name spelled back. You'll see the AI having a help picture on it, obviously. Got a lot of followers too in that group. Over 8,000 groups, 5 followers, the sport ones, the fitness ones, and everything else. I got over 34 different, but half of those friends going back to half of the 34 I knew going back to my high school, grade school, and middle school days. Other friends just one of the friends I added through those groups, paid away. Rest of them for the 3,400 paid away. Notify me on oh yeah, gotta get my Google Play. So that's Stephead 56. That's if you play on Google Play. I don't know if I can still play. I don't know when to still play on Google Play. Other than my cousin, pretty paid away. So you got all my links for PSN. All my PSN names. They gotta still change 2 of those 5 PSN. I gotta change those gamer tags soon. And you got both my Microsoft account gamer tags as I gave you in this video, pretty much. Gave all my Twitter, gave all my IGs, gave my TikToks, my Facebook. What's that I got to give you here? Oh yeah, my Spotify's. Give me a second here. Give me a second. I gotta pull it out. Give me a second. I did change my Spotify names, obviously, as of 2 weeks ago. Give me a second, guys. Before I end this video, I was almost at 40 minutes either way. Okay, here. My new Spotify name is Cyberpunk11. You know about Cyberpunk, obviously. Changed my name to Cyberpunk 11. It was originally Spotify Hello, but I changed to Cyberpunk 11, pretty much. And then my other Spotify is Face Hutch on my royalty on Spotify. That's my merge meta one on Spotify, Face Hutch 12. And then my other Spotify, my third Spotify is Xbox Managed All Digital, which is PSS Majors All Digital. My third Spotify account. And my fourth one is Arcade Hutch, which I also changed the picture on, obviously, as well. And Raise Power 2 on Spotify for us, News Hutch 1 on Super Nintendo 64. So those are all 4 of my Spotifys. So there you go. Cyberpunk 11, as I changed the name, it was originally Spotify Hut 11, but I changed it. Raise Power 2. It was originally News Hutch 1, but I changed it to Raise Power 2. And then Arcade Hutch, Phase 12, and then Xbox vs. Madness. All Digital vs. PSS. Matrix All Digital, so those are all 4 of my Spotifys. So yeah. Alright guys, I end the video right there. Just want to give you my Spotify. I also forgot to give you this in the video too, so yeah. Okay guys, I end the video right there. But you know to find me on all my social medias. You know to find me on all 5 of my PSNs. Keep the close friend requests coming, but on Xbox too, just want to update this too. I'm less than 100 friends away from 2,000 on Xbox too, so keep those close friend requests coming until I reach 2,000 on that one, but slowly approaching my friends on Furry Kingdom. I'm less than like 297 away, 295 away from 2,000 on Furry Kingdom. Then I got to add more friends on Chumley Ishi and Musca Ishi 4 on Super Nintendo 64. So I had to add more friends to get 2,000 on that. So keep those close friend requests coming, but on Xbox and Furry Kingdom and Chumley Ishi, pretty much in Musca Ishi. Keep those close friend requests coming. Cause I need more friends to add on my other 2 PS and now 3 of the 5 PS. I'm approaching my friends on either way, slowly but sure. The other one's getting there. It's taking its time, but yeah, 40 minute video. Wow. But yeah, just keep those close phone requests going on. Ask for protein, protein, and muscle. He she four and show me he she pretty much. The 3 of those 5 pieces I just mentioned. Approach my friends over the other 2. You gotta add me on the other 2. Pretty much approach my friends on my other 3. Other 5, pretty much. Okay, guys, in the minute right there. 40-minute video. Long minute, guys. So stay tuned for the next what's coming in a few minutes. Yeah, deuces. Stay tuned. What's coming in a few seconds. Deuces.